We had super soaked maids and playing fetch like they're a mutt in this week's episode of 100 Girlfriends. I am convinced after last week that season 3 will probably kill me. Like, I'll actually go into cardiac arrest. I do appreciate that for the most part they let this episode be focused on the maid, because if you're going to keep introducing these goddamn girls like we're collecting Pokemon, like, they're just jumping into the Pokeballs. They're not even attempting to put up a fight anymore. Yeah, at least give us a bit of an introduction, but their introduction was just so stupid. It literally quickly established that he plays fetch with her and treats her like a dog, so then he makes her play fetch with him so he doesn't feel guilty, only for him to give the craziest, prolonged, ridiculous life lesson about how she should treat herself by essentially saying, no matter what, you're serving me because I think of you. And it's like, technically, I guess you could say it's sweet, but Jesus, 100 Girlfriends, you are so stupid and I love you. Only to then escalate into a super soaker off. A couple of them didn't even need the goddamn squirt guns. They were squirting just fine all by themselves. And it's like, how serious they take it. They were acting like, oh my god, they're gonna get shot down. We gotta mourn them. It's like, the author's a genius because, like, I can completely tell he doesn't take this show seriously, but he writes it in a way that it's like the characters do, but it's like if you're reading or watching it, you're supposed to be like, I see what he's doing. In terms of pure entertainment value, this shit's 10 out of 10, but we are not going to be ready for a season 3. It's probably going to kill many, myself included. Oh, of course, you want to see my full thoughts and support my work, we got the Patreon where we got those full live reactions available exclusively over there if you're so interested. So, I've said it since it happened in season 1. The man should just go for the mom and leave everyone else behind. I don't give a shit about how they might die. We are destined with 100 girlfriends. That is the answer. Hell, at this point, even take the maid. The maid's a pretty sane one. Like, she's a little robotic for my liking, but at least she wouldn't be like the craziest person who you might have to worry about someday. But like, the fact that what started as a joke for me, the fact that they don't go to class, has turned into quite the reality. It was sunset by the end of this episode. I don't think they go to class. I think they literally just go to that damn rooftop, do bullshit up there, and then go home. I don't think Rentro's seen a classroom since probably like episode 3. Like, this man's entire existence is just doing some bullshit on the rooftop with his 8 girlfriends. Probably 12 before the season wraps up. And the best part too is knowing what one of his girlfriends is in relation to this school. There's no repercussions. He can just do whatever the hell he wants. And the fact that they just continue to escalate. Like, there's so many small moments that are just beautiful jokes. Like, they're just the chef's kiss. Distracting Big Titty Mama by saying, hey, look over there. I want to give you a hug from behind. Insert squirt gun to the back of the head. Blasphemy, you traitorous bitch. I never should have fallen for this. It's like, those moments are so good. Or the fact that he didn't realize he essentially played fetch with his new girlfriend. Like, the first thing that he did after pretty much getting into the I love you, Rentro, I want to join in on the harem. Hey, pick up that stick. What stick would you like me to pick up next? Shit, I think I'm playing fetch. Quickly throw this so I can go retrieve it. At first, I wasn't sure what he was doing. I thought he was kind of an idiot. I see what he was going for now, but the idea that he's like, you're not allowed to serve me, and then eventually it just gets to the point where she has to leave because no matter what she does, she's serving him. She gets a phone call, and he's like, I'm still thinking of you. You're still serving me. You're breaking the rules. It was a whole test to basically show that, hey, like, no matter what, you're serving me, so you don't have to worry about always doing actions because you're always, I'm happy being around you. It's like, okay, might mean something if there was a singular girlfriend, but you know what? I see where he's going with it, but the poor woman, she barely can keep her eyes open as is, and is just stressing out of her mind that her like, if he would have let it go on for too long, I'm convinced this woman would have took her own life to serve Rentra, because my existence is serving you, and therefore you don't want this, so I must, commit the ultimate sin so that you may... This show's ridiculous, man. I think the most brilliant thing, though, when it comes to the writing, is the fact that they legitimately went very different with each persona. I'm not sure how long that can truly go on for, But, you know, the idea that at face value, you have one girlfriend who started off as the almost robot, and then you have a maid who has a similar robotic personality, but they're actually quite different. One was more like just super emotionless, but like, you know, calculated. This one's just super loyal. So it's like two different type of robotic personalities, but don't feel like they're stepping over each other's toes. The show's pretty clever. It's entertainment gold. And I mean, to the show's credit, it doesn't happen a lot, but they did have man service in this episode. I mean, every other scene, people are tripping over each other's titties, and I mean, they're squirting them up, and then insert Rentro doing the same for them. Those two had such nosebleeds. I'm surprised they don't have brain damage. Granted, everyone kind of has brain damage in the show to begin with, but more so with the brain damage, if you catch my drift. Very, very fun episode. This episode basically felt PG friendly compared to last week, as people were turned into babies and they were sucking on titties. Still haven't recovered from that one. So no matter what they were going to do this week, it was going to seem like children's cartoons in comparison. But I had a fun time. It's always funny to me when, like, because we're at a point where they mostly accept anyone. They're like, oh yeah, this is just how Rentro rolls. I thought it was very clear that she was a part of the girlfriend group last episode. Apparently we still had to ask for permission because we had to go on a date first. The fact that this bitch too was driving with her eyes closed, like, I feel like the god slash narrator, as seen by this episode, has reached the point of even feeling fed up himself. It is so glorious to watch the train wreck of comedy, and how at face value these characters are technically being wholesome together because they accept the bullshittery. But then you take a step back and you're like, wait a second. How wholesome is it actually when it's surrounded by all this? I don't know, man. The 100 Girlfriends is the type of train wreck that should never have worked out. But somehow, for now, 16 episodes, it's done so wonderfully. I will probably die when season 3 comes out. It'll probably just be every scene them as babies doing some bullshit, and I'll be like, what in God's name am I doing? But I've already accepted my one-way ticket to hell from shows like these, and at this point, I'd be a fool to try to get off the damn train. You let me know your thoughts down below. What was your favorite gag, if you got any? I definitely very much enjoyed that fetching scene, but yeah, the turnaround moment was pretty freaking funny. It was a very subtle joke, but funny nonetheless. You let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon. And tell you while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Joslib, Thomas, Chris Bolu, Sam the Ace, Zealous12, and we also have Mr. Amazing. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you'll have a good one.